Elizabeth Dale Gibbons Flanagan Jeffries High Brown Rout was born in 1797 in Maryland. Her father was a veteran of the American Revolution. Now, Elizabeth's first husband, she married while she was a teenager. That marriage lasted 18 years. He was a minister, and he died in Columbia, Tennessee, of something called black tongue. We don't know what that means. Her second husband was a man named Philip Flanagan, and here in Huntsville, he had a carriage factory. Now, the interesting thing about Philip Flanagan was that he dressed and he lived as if he had great wealth. So she probably thought that he was going to be financially a good catch. He thought she was going to be a good catch. But shortly after they got married, she discovered that he was deeply in debt. So 3 months after they were married, we look in the probate records and we see that he's been calling doctors on the average of every other day. In the last 3 months of his life, he had seen a doctor 45 times. He died prematurely. He was only about 36 years old and was buried at Maple Hill Cemetery. She had a headstone put over his grave. She talked about him being the sincerest friend, the most beloved husband, all these wonderful things that she said about him. However, she misspelled his name on the headstone. She married again, a man named Alexander Jeffries, and he had a log cabin in the Hazel area. They had 2 children together when he died of natural causes. And she married again, a man named Robert High. He didn't live very long either. The 5th husband now helped her build the beautiful mansion that the place is known for today. She was known to be quite beautiful. She loved fine clothes and fast horses. When he passed away, she buried him in the middle of the night by lantern light because his body swelled up and turned black, sort of like rats do after they have rat poison. The last husband, number 6, passed away also from natural causes. Now, she had a next-door neighbor by the name of Abner Tate. She had a running problem with him over loose livestock in somebody's field. So she had brought him to trial, and he was tried for murder of 2 drovers, and that's somebody who drives cattle. He was found not guilty because there really wasn't any evidence that this had happened. In turn, he brought charges against her for murdering her husbands. So about the time that there was supposed to be the trial against her for murder of her husbands, the Civil War broke out, and all was forgotten. There were other things to worry about. So she, lock, stock, and barrel, packed everything up and moved to Mississippi, where her only surviving child was, now her son, and that's where he lived. And so that's where we assume that she died. However, we can't find a grave for her, but we do know that her son moved then to Memphis after she moved to Mississippi, which was probably wise because their daughter, her daughter, his sister, also died under mysterious circumstances. Some of the husbands and the daughter are buried in Hazel Green at the little cemetery that was adjacent to the fine old home that was burned by an arsonist. And several of the graves have been dug up, and the bodies have disappeared, the skeletons have disappeared, whatever was left. Now, the rumor is, or the legend is, that she had a hat rack next to her door that had a hat from each one of her husbands who had died of natural causes.